Hey guys, it's Megan. I had to go with my husband to the doctor tonight. He was having a lot of pain in his jaw and he was having severe sinus pressure, so they're putting him on an antibiotic and some medicine. So hopefully that helps him and relieves the issue. Then we had to go run a couple of errands and didn't get home until I would say between 9:30 and 10 p.m. tonight. So we had to sit for a while and wait. Usually you can get in and out of that office pretty fast, and tonight it was just like hurry up and wait. When we left, they still had like a 2.5 hour wait. And I think the place was supposed to close at 10, so I don't really know what time those folks actually get out of that place when it's like that. I was catching up on my soaps for the day. I watched General Hospital and I watched Young and the Restless, and now I'm sitting here watching Catfish, and there's an episode with a guy and his mother called in or wrote into Neve and Max about thinking her son might have been catfished, but she's not sure. But he'd already been catfished once before, and this is a mom of four, and this is the first episode I've seen where the mother initiates it, and I'm like 15 minutes into it, and I've still got like 26 minutes left. But when they go to pick up the people and take them to where, like, I think one kid might be in Texas, and they're going to have to take him to maybe California. The mother's going to tag along on this one, so it should be interesting. And then it got me thinking, catfishing, there are so many dating sites out there. There are so many sites where people pretend to be one person and are really another. The internet kind of gives you a sense of anonymity because you can pretend to be somebody you're not, and you don't have to use your real name or picture, and you can convince people of pretty much anything. And I've been on the bad receiving end of that before, so I tend to think the show's kind of interesting, and some of the stories are really good. My little sister, she got me into watching it a while back, and then when Hulu got it, I was glad because then I could watch it there, but I really wasn't into it at first. And I've seen on Dr. Phil where they do episodes where these older women are sending money to these men, like, they don't even know who the people are. They're talking to them, they're texting them, I don't know even know if they're video chatting with them, and the links they go through to smuggle the money to the people is ridiculous. I saw one lady send a man she claimed was her fiance some cash, and she stuffed it in a cereal box. She opened the box and the bag inside of it. She took out about half of the cereal. She dug a hole in the middle of it and stuffed the cash in. Then she put the cereal back in and resealed the box. That seems to be too easy, and in my opinion, that's a sense of money laundering because, I mean, not that she's getting it in bad, but she's sending it to him and he's using it for something. I know somebody who would be sending money to girls, so-called girls online, and some of the money would go to Nigeria, and the person you're sending it to doesn't even pick it up. They have a person to pick it up for them, and it's really weird because that could be funding terrorism, that could be just sending money to some Nigerian scammers, because there's plenty of them out there. And speaking of scammers, a few weeks ago I got a phone call late at night, and I answered it, and it told me it was the Fraternal Order of Police. And they were telling me to buckle up and whatnot. It was getting ready to be a holiday weekend, and that or it was getting ready to be summertime and that safety is number one, which was nice. And then the person wanted me to give them money, and when I couldn't confirm how much I would give them, they told me they would send me a package in the mail, and they thanked me for my support. But before I could even give them, I guess really my address, I wasn't going to give out my address and my information. If they called me, they should have that. I got to thinking, you know, if it was really the Fraternal Order of the Police, they wouldn't be expecting me to commit to a certain amount of money unless I said I would do it, and they wouldn't hassle me about it even if I said I couldn't do $5. I couldn't do anything today, but, you know, I'd let you know at a later time. Just, you know, send me the paperwork. I never gave the people my address, and so far I haven't received anything in the mail. I thought about it and talked to Jamie, and we wound up calling the non-emergency police department that night, and I wanted to speak to an officer regarding it, and I just would rather he called me, but instead a police officer knocked on the door, so we talked to him about it, and he told us to report it to the FBI website. So we went online and did that, and then I did a reverse phone, what do you want to call it, a reverse, I put the phone number in, like I went to Google or Bing or whatever search engine that I was using, and I typed in the number, and then it listed like comments people have made to that number, and it turned out that when you called the number back, it was not answering. Like if it's the Fraternal Order of Police, when you go to voicemail or whatever, it should say, you know, thank you for calling the Fraternal Order of Police. Your call is very important to us. Unfortunately, nobody's here to take your call. Please leave us your name, number, and a brief message, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can, or something like that. Well, they didn't have that. When you called, they were very nonspecific. We got voicemail because no actual person answered, and the voicemail said something along the lines of, the person you're trying to reach is not available, but has a telephone or has a mailbox set up pertaining to the campaign that you got a phone call for, and then it went on with some other spiel. The phone number didn't even say the Fraternal Order of Police. It turned out that those people were scamming. And I was smart enough not to give them my information, because if I had of, who knows what they could have done. So I was told by the police officer that it was, how did he put it? He said that income tax season had just been upon us, and plenty of people out there trying to get money, and that's probably what they were trying to do. And they have you committing, basically, I guess they could say, oh, you said you'll pay $12 a month, so now that I have your credit card number, I'm just going to take all your money. As it goes on there, I'm going to take it all off. And that would be a big scam. I'm glad that, you know, we didn't get in on that, because that would have been terrible. And then you probably couldn't trace it back to who was doing it, because they would transfer the money and then put it into some offshore account where you couldn't trace it. I don't know. I just think it's a mess. It's to a point sometimes where I don't even want to answer my house phone, because unless I recognize the name that comes up, there's nobody really that I want to talk to that's going to call my house number. I have a cell phone, and I don't usually answer that unless I recognize the phone number, and if I don't, then if they do a message in my voicemail and I recognize it, then I call them back. But just have to be more careful. Some days you get some of the same phone calls 3 and 4 times. We recently changed our home internet, and our home phone is tied in with that, so when we changed it, it gave us a new phone number and a new internet router box and everything. Well, my old house phone, I kept getting telemarketers. Even though I put the number on the do not call list, I got plenty of telemarketers, and it was multiple times a day I was getting phone calls from them, so it got to a point where I just unplugged that, and I got in touch with the voicemail for that particular phone carrier, and I'd call it a couple times a day and check messages, but there was never anything there that I needed to hear. So I haven't really given my house phone out to many people, you know, family and stuff, but what's the point? I mean, I don't do long distance on it. I didn't even want a house phone. I only have the house phone just because it was supposed to be rolled into the deal that we got with the internet. So I don't know. I think that's kind of dumb. I wish you could choose things, but I guess it is what it is. Because I didn't want the cable or satellite or whatnot. I just wanted the internet and the phone, so... Well, I mean, I just wanted the internet and the phone was there, so that's why we got both. I got a box in the mail today, well, a package in the mail today, of some movies that I ordered. I received Season 1 of Lost, The Heartbreak Kid, The Lake House, Pearl Harbor, Four Christmases, and The Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And I intend to get started watching those probably not this week. I'm thinking after we get back from our trip, sometime next week I probably will. I'm having some issues finding a new doctor, and I need to work on that this week so that I can get that set up. So hopefully I can get in to see somebody in the next couple of weeks. So I always hate having to shop, or I don't want to call it shopping for a new doctor, but you have to, you know, look for somebody new, and if you've already been established somewhere and they don't take your insurance, you have to find somewhere else to go. So it's just getting to be monotonous. There's only so many decent places that are around here that the doctors will actually pay attention to you when you talk to them. So hopefully I find one of those and I don't get one that just spends 2 minutes, writes on his pad, and walks out of the room, because those doctors you'll never get anywhere with. But, yeah, the doctor that Jamie got when we were at the doctor's place tonight, he was an older man. He was very slow moving around. He had hearing aids, but the battery was dead in one of his. And to me, when I saw him, he looked like Colonel Sanders. I know that's not nice, but when I saw him, that's what I thought, and I didn't think he was an actual doctor. But it turns out he was, and they were just like extremely behind tonight, so hopefully with the stuff they gave Jamie, he'll be able to go to work tomorrow and not have too many problems. Although they gave him some medication he can't take during the day while he's working, because it's got a label on it that says you can't. So hopefully he's not going to be in so much pain that he can't perform his job tomorrow. So I don't really have anything else at this point. So I'm going to go back and finish my catfish show, and I'm going to post this so you guys can watch it. Thanks for viewing, and don't forget to check me out on meganshepard81@gmail.com, or you can subscribe to my channel here. I guess the links and stuff are in the description. I don't really know. I'm hoping they are. So comment, like, share, whatever, and peace, everyone.